Happy Monday, guys. Today's home workout is an AMRAP 10, 5 back squats, 10 alternating dumbbell snatches, 20 double unders. So back squats today, if you don't have a barbell, let's find an object where we can kind of place it on our shoulder, near our straps around here on the traps there, guys. If you have a sandbag, you can try that. If you have a backpack, hold the top of the handle and put it behind and try to hold it behind you there, kind of to mimic that back squat position you would do with an actual barbell. Then we're going to go into 10 alternating dumbbell snatches. So find that object you've been using for those dumbbell snatches. If you don't have one, you guys can find, like, use a soup can. If you don't have any weights at all, if you have like a paint can, it's a good idea as well. Something that you can hold on to safely, obviously not let go as you're doing in the workout. And then 20 double unders. So double unders, double tap hops, or if you have a rope, you can go for those double unders, or even just go single unders and go 20 reps or 40 reps depending on where you're at with the skill of the single under. For the workout itself, we want to kind of be moving at a fast pace here, not a sprinting pace. You want to be able to finish around within 90 seconds, so no more than 90 seconds. If you're going past that, you might have picked progressions a little bit too difficult for you, so try to be able to finish around within 90 seconds. And ideally, all the reps should be done unbroken. So back squats, the alternating dumbbell snatches, and double unders, try to keep them all unbroken. Just trying to move through it as quickly as you can while maintaining a good pace. I would say see if you can get into that 6th and 7th round, around there, as an average. See if you can push to get even more than that today. So great workout there. Once you finish, we're going to do some strengthening of that core, 2 minutes of that L-sit. So we've been hitting this L-sit continuously. So again, let's get back to those progressions, see where we're at with them, and then again, progress them a little bit further. So if you've been doing knee tucks, let's try and slowly start getting to that L-sit. Not quite yet, but maybe have the knees a little bit bent, but the legs a little more straight this time. Or if you have an L-sit, or you want to stick to the previous progression, see if you can hold it a little bit longer this time. Instead of going 20 seconds, let's go 25 seconds. Add 5 more seconds onto each set that you did last time. So a great core buster there, guys, and it's a great tool to build that core strength and those hip flexor strength to be in that L position. So really good tool to work on there. I hope you guys enjoyed today's workout and AFTERBURNER. We'll see you guys next for the warm-up video.
Okay, let's get ready to warm up here. We're going to start off today's warm-up with the 90-90 hip rotation. So opening up the hips. Really, the 90-90 is to focus on your internal rotation and your external rotation in your hips. A lot of times, whether you're squatting, you're running, box jumping, anytime you're moving the legs, we're not necessarily moving effectively in our hips because the rotation in our femurs, so your thigh bone, isn't necessarily recruiting all the correct muscles. What I'm trying to get at is your hip flexor, your psoas, to be specific, tends to get neglected. So this 90-90 really helps, guys, to open it up, loosen it up, and slowly start firing those smaller muscles. You're gonna start in your seated position, heels on the ground, guys. Knees are about 90 degrees. From here, notice how my hands are hip in line with my hips or slightly behind. You can play around with this. You're gonna drop your knees, okay? If you drop your knees and you feel maybe it's a stretch, whether it's on either leg, hang out there, hold it, okay? If you can't touch your knee to the floor, just gently try to push down as your body relaxes. Now it might be tricky to see, but my knees are actually about 90 degrees, both of them. That's where the name comes, the 90-90. From here, I'm going to rotate my knees to the other side without lifting my heels off the ground. So notice how I'm just rotating, but my heels did not change position, okay? So now I'm feeling a little tight here, so I can feel the stretch myself, so I can reposition my hand. The key here is do not reposition your heels. It's really easy to I'm doing it, but you're actually not rotating through your hips when you're moving your feet. Okay, so you're gonna rotate in your hips, so this thigh, for me, is externally rotating as this one is internally rotating. So I'm feeling that rotation in my hips. Then I reverse the order. External rotation, internal rotation on the opposite side. The key here, guys, use this as a stretch. Feel the rotation in your hips. As you get more comfortable, come off the ground with your hands. See, can you not move your heels, but use that core to stabilize yourself. After you've done that, now let's get that heart rate going. Let's get those muscles fired up, guys. We're gonna go for 3 rounds, 30, 20, and 10. Alternating step up. So starting with 30 alternating step ups, you're gonna go up, step down, go up, step down, trying to fire up the hamstrings and glutes on that one, okay? Stabilize your knee, so don't let your knee drop depending on how your object is. Watch for that, okay? Once you've completed the 30, then you're gonna go into your push-up position. So your high plank. From here, shoulders over your wrist. You're gonna bring your knee to the opposite side. Bring your knee to the opposite side. You're going for 30 mountain climbers, crossing your body, getting your core fired up, okay? From there, my last movement, going for some bent over flies. So I'm using these 10-pound plates here today. I'm gonna hinge at the hips, so lean forward by sneaking my bum back. From there, my back is flat, and then I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades, bring it down. Squeeze my shoulder blades, bring it down. Do it until 30. As you squeeze your shoulder blades, don't roll forward. It's okay to bend the elbows slightly so you can maximize the usage of your upper back. If you have the flexibility in your bicep and your triceps and your back muscles, feel free to go straight, guys, but play around with it to make sure you get the most out of your back without lowering the plate down too much. So you're not doing this, okay? Trying to keep them in line to your shoulders. Once you've completed 30, you're going back onto your step up for 20, repeating your movements, working your way down on the last round, doing that final round of 10. Have a great warm-up. See you next in the workout.
Front squats. So for those front squats, guys, we're gonna keep that weight on that front rack position. So we're gonna really pull our elbows up, flare those lats out so we can stay nice and tight here. Make sure you're in your squatting stance. Again, you can go single arm there, or you can go with that one object right in the middle. We're gonna come all the way down, keeping those knees out, chest nice and tall. Make sure that weight is distributed evenly amongst the full foot, and then drive straight up. As we stand up, think about driving up with those elbows as you come out of the bottom of the squat.
Starting with the alternating snatch. I got a dumbbell here, guys. So depending what you have at home, your starting position might be slightly different, okay? So what I'm getting at is if I have a smaller object, I might have to squat down to reach it versus leaning forward and rounding my back. That is usually your go-to, more natural, kind of lean forward, reach for it. But then that changes your spine position, does not keep it in neutral position. So try to get in the habit of hinging with the hips, okay, squatting down if your object is a little bit smaller, okay? To avoid using your back or compromising your back position, use those legs. Just like any lift here that we would use with a barbell, you would deadlift it from the floor. From there, you guys, you're gonna drive your hips, heels into the floor. As you drive your elbow slightly back, then quickly turn it around and punch it to the ceiling, okay? Avoid that two-step because it's not a clean and press, it's a snatch, okay? So one fluid, continuous movement all the way overhead.
For those double unders, we have them. Let's work on those double unders today. If you're at that 30 range, for example, see if you can break them up into sets of 20. Or if you want to try it, seeing if you can do bigger sets today, this is the great day to try and start, or a great workout to start doing that. If you don't have double unders, let's go single skips, or we can go for some running skips here, guys. Also, you can use that previous option from before, which is the double tap hop. So you're gonna keep the feet together, you're gonna jump up, double tap your sides for 60 reps total. All right, so if you want 2-minute abs, you've come to the right place. So we're gonna do 2 minutes of that L-sit hold, guys. I'm gonna show you guys some different variations that you can do. Obviously that L-sit is pretty advanced to do, so we need to use some progressions to build up to it. So for that L-sit, guys, basically what we want to try and do is use those hip flexors, use those lower abs to kind of curl up into that V shape. So to start off, we can start off in our leg raise position with our hands back, and we can come up for that leg lift, so keeping both legs straight, holding this position. See if that's challenging. If this is challenging, use this progression for your L-sit today. If you want to challenge it a little bit more, obviously bring those hands a little bit closer, lift up. You guys can use that as a progression for your L-sit. So if you feel comfortable there, you can do those progressions, and you feel comfortable with the supporting with your body. You guys can, again, you don't have to use parallettes here. You guys can use chairs or any two supports. Make sure they're not moving or they won't get out on you. So find those supports. To start off, you guys can go into that knee tuck position, so you don't have to go with your legs completely straight. So lock out those elbows, make sure you get good support on those PVC pipes, or sorry, the parallettes. Lift those knees up, keep the knees close, and then see how that is. If you find that's challenging, let's just stick to that progression today. If you find it's hard to hold for about a 10 to 15 second range, or even less, that's a good progression to work on. If you feel comfortable, you can start raising just one leg out in front, keep the opposite bent. That's one progression to work on to start to get to that full L-sit. Biggest thing here, guys, if you even start to build up to that full L-sit, make sure you're really pushing into those parallettes and staying locked. Sometimes you start bending at the elbows and losing that stability. You really want to focus on the core and those hip flexors to pull those legs up. So again, once we're in that position, staying nice and tight, pushing hard on those parallettes. 2 minutes, guys. Hopefully you guys get your abs after these 2 minutes. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the workout.